right, Sagittarius. I got 2 more to go. Then I am good. Then I get to work on my blog post. Because I committed to it and I said I was. And I started to stop midway through and then just work on like my blogs. And then I was kind of like, no, you can't do that. You can't do that. So, yeah. But, y'all got the truth. Like, basically just truth. I don't know if you're trying to search for a sense of truth, needing some sense of truth. But the song that popped up in my head was In the Ivy Truth. So some of y'all may be looking for love or finding that in a partner or connecting or trying to manifest or bring that in. But overall, it just gave me truth. Like somebody's searching for something. I don't know if somebody's digging in your business. You digging in somebody else's business. I don't know. If you're trying to connect to your higher self, a meaning to life. Because the Hierophant over here. So I don't know. That's why I said could be looking for some type of meaning to life, school, study. I don't know. I got one more shuffle after this. One more. High Priestess. That's why I said it's kind of like, I don't know if somebody's trying to uncover your truths or trying to pull the mask back, pull the wool over your eyes. I don't know, because you do got 3 of Wands, and then you have the 7 of Cups. That's why I said it's kind of like, I don't know if it's emotional gratification or just looking for a sense of truth. I don't know what that's about. But, yeah, we'll see what comes out in the reading. God damn. Bottom of the deck, you got the 10 of Wands. Ooh, Christ. Let's see. You got the Empress. Could be a partner with you. You got Knight of Cups, all right? 4 of Wands. 4 of Swords. So it look like y'all ain't got no help in this as well or accepting it. You got the Hermit and the Ace of Pentacles. That's why I said some of y'all could be with love or financial type matters or connecting or commitments or arrangements. Then you got the King of Pentacles, which is reversed with the Magician. So, yeah. And then you got 10 of Pentacles being reversed, and you got 10 of Cups, and the 2 of Pentacles being reversed. Awakening and High Priestess, and I just need 2 more, and then we're good to go. We just need 2 more. All right, that's on the money. Bang, bang. 3 of, let's scoot that up. 3 of Pentacles. So let's see what's on the bottom of the deck. Ooh, all right. Oh, you got the Wheel of Fortune, the Hierophant being reversed on this side, the Devil, and the 3 of Pentacles being reversed. For me, when I see the Wheel of Fortune to the Hierophant being reversed, it's kind of like a situation that may be kind of tricky or somebody's trying to, I don't know. That's why I say it's like this uncovering the overall reading was the sense of the truth or whatever the case may be. It may be information that you may be searching or going to school or something that has to do with like studying type matters or a sense of spirituality, or it could be indifferences or whatever the case may be. Then over here with the Devil, you got Capricorn energy with the 3 of Pentacles. It could be, you hear me say, dealing with a sense of control. It could be, you hear me say, long-term connecting, binding, certain spirituality practices, I don't know, connecting. You know how certain people, they go through different type of religious type practices, styles to be able to connect to someone. I don't know. But with the 3 of Pentacles, you hear me say with the Wheel of Fortune and the Hierophant, it just gives me something that you hear me say that needs to be wrapped up. When you hear me say force, when it comes to the truth, it's kind of like somebody doesn't want to let go. I don't know. It just gives me like this sense of shadow, dark, trauma bond, invested, I don't know, unwilling to learn. Like, as crazy as it is, or whatever the case may be, it may be somebody that you hear me say, you may be, or maybe dealing with someone that you hear me say necessarily when it comes to the Hierophant. And this, it's kind of like somebody doesn't want to learn, like somebody who's very uncompromising, or whatever the case may be. It's kind of like, you know how you got your truth, their truth, and the actual reality, or whatever the case may be. But sometimes when you're dealing with a sense of truth, sometimes people try to make people force them to see their sense of reality, because we deny people human experience. So it's kind of like, no, this is what happened to me, and it's kind of like being caught up. And then too, you hear me say with the Devil being in the middle, I kind of don't know. You hear me say, when I say on my blog post, does the help really help? or whatever the case may be, because some people can quote unquote just be caught up in the sense of mess, or just quote on drama type, like especially with the Three of Pentacles, because that's just there like somebody just holding on long term to a position, like just being in the middle. Though I say it could go either way. It's kind of like either somebody in your business or you in theirs, or you're trying to find some sense of higher knowing or some information. I don't know, but it just seems like with the Capricorn energy being here upright, it seems like it's gonna be a tug of war. Let me just say, it's gonna be a long fight. Whew. That's what it gave me, just like a breath. All right, you got the Empress being upright. You got the Hermit and the Ace of Pentacles and a sense of an awakening. Reason being, you hear me say, the Empress, it could be you hear me say with how a person is going about when it comes to self-love, going back to those type of higher consciousness, higher knowing, enlightenment, like coming out of a sense of the darkness, like being able to thrust upon into the position that you need to be, or whatever the case may be, because you do have the Hermit like going within, or whatever the case may be, but it kind of may be coming out of that sense of the reality, because you hear me say, even though this Hermit in this deck is in the desert, so depending on how it was fed, how it was starved, you can go through a sense of mirage. So the Ace of Pentacles, like coming out of Hermit mode or learning a sense of type of knowledge or style, you could be expecting something, only to recognize that you're getting this, like a sense of awakening. Like, you know how you go into a situation and you expect some type of blessing, to where people, they say, oh, I'm going to go do this, or you may be searching for the truth, and it's kind of like the truth that you may not uncover. It may be something for you to be enlightened on your own path, to share with you, to put you in a better place, because you got the Knight of Passions, the Knight of Emotions. So that's kind of like you and your emotions. But you also had a King of Pentacles reversed with a Magician, though. So it's kind of like maybe the ground that you was upon, or like where you sowed your seeds at once upon a time. Like you recognizing that you can incorporate, like maybe it's you like incorporating a sense of knowledge or passion, you hear me say, over time, and then saying, okay, well, I'm going to take this back to me. That's what it's kind of giving you. Like, I'm telling you, it just gives me like, maybe you were searching for something, only to recognize that what you were searching for helped you. Because you do got, overall mood, you did have the King of Swords being reversed as well. So it's kind of like moving about, trying to cut something off quickly, swiftly, trying to get with it done. Like, I'm just over it, or whatever the case may be, because King of Swords is kind of like at that moment being reversed. He didn't, it's kind of like, okay, when it comes to a sense of information, because you got the Four of Swords. Four of Swords, you hear me say, this is that enlightenment or a sense of truth, like worrying about it, free from the sense of the subconscious, like everything's out in the truth. So it's kind of like, what's the purpose of help when it's already out there? So somebody may have that reality. But it goes back to the Ten of Cups. And then you have the Two of Pentacles. And you had an Ace of Swords. So that's why I said it gives me like that type of situation where you may be dealing with people or the interests of your overall happiness, or connecting with, to where you kind of like, shit, the truth already out. What the fuck I'm going to do about it? Like, you know, like, it's just like at this moment, it just gives me where like pushing it or getting everybody back on the same page, or trying to, I don't know. I have to figure out what's the purpose or whatever the case may be. Really don't want to. Knight of Wands. Three of Wands. Seven of Cups. You got Five of Wands, Nine of Wands, Three of Cups, and the Ace of Cups. That five upright, that nine upright, this Three of Cups reverse, and the Ace of Cups. Ooh. Reason being, you hear me say, when you're dealing with this Ten of Cups being reversed, that Three of Cups being reversed, it could be like some gossipy type nature going on. That's why I said when it comes to a sense of truth, the Five of Wands means having to jump through different types of loopholes to be able to get what it is that you need. And in the process, where you hear me say, is it like really your mission? Like, is it your mission though? Because Ace of Cups being reversed is kind of like, it's this over exerted a sense of passion. But it could be, you hear me say, the reason why somebody's going down like this rabbit hole or situation, because it brings them some truth or inner knowing for themselves. Because the Knight of Wands, you hear me say, it's going backwards that way, and the Three of Wands is going this way. So that's why I said it gives me like this tug of war, like within. It's kind of like the inner knowing or something like that. It kind of, let's just say, for instance, if you were dealing with a situation with people and it's kind of like where somebody actually knows them or has experienced them more, it's kind of like somebody is trying to stop somebody from uncovering the sense of truth, right? And then on the other hand, or whatever the case may be, it's kind of like somebody's just being messy. Especially when you go down to the Ten of Cups and the Two of Pentacles, it's kind of like at that moment they exhausting their resources. That's juggling. So that's kind of like somebody who's playing like both sides in the matter. Am I making sense? Because it ends, you hear me say, with this, with the Ace of Cups. So it may be a situation or connecting where you may be dealing with friends or connecting with certain people and recognizing that you kind of like, you know how they say don't bring all your friends together? It could be one of those type of moments where you kind of like, well, I got to put this motherfucker in the boxing ring, this motherfucker in the boxing ring, and just know that this shit will never, ever work out. Three of Pentacles back again. That's why I said it's kind of like something maybe maybe you haven't learned or maybe somebody else haven't learned, because you also got the Ten of Swords and then you got the Five of Swords and then you got the Strength. And that's why I said for me it just gives me that overall matter of where it's kind of like it's an ending that needs to happen, or it may have been a horrible type ending that may have came about to where it puts somebody in like a feisty type position or whatever, like, you know, with the Strength. That's why I said I don't know, over time of being in a situation or something in your life is building some sort of strength and courage for you to be able to go after certain things or learn, or bringing you into an awakening type period. That's what it's kind of giving me though. It really is, because with this 10 and this 5, that's kind of like two people fighting, especially with the 7 of Cups up under the 7 of Cups. It's kind of like somebody's fighting for a sense of truth. Let me see, can you see it? Like, that's the 7 of Cups. This the 10, and that's the 5. But it's kind of like you hear me say, like, somebody trying to fight for their sense of reality or truth. Or it's just like two people arguing, going back and forth, though. Ooh. The Queen of Wands was reversed, that flew down. God damn. I'm so sick of that shit. Kind of good though. King of Cups being reversed. Ooh, damn near all your kings being reversed, huh? Whew. Queen of Wands. All right, let's see what came out. Behind that, you got the Ace of Pentacles though. Watch that fire energy. You got the Two of Cups being reversed as well. So it's kind of like some situation where something needs to change, because the 10 plus 5 equals the number 15, and 15 speaks of like independence, like being able to be, it's like being able to move forward and do whatever the hell you want to do, right? So this could be like some type of ongoing argumentative situation, even if it has to do something with a relationship. It's kind of like you do your thing, I do my thing. That's just it, like trying to make a healthy amicable split. But that's kind of like the problem. That's not. If it's some situation where you like tugged in the middle, because you do got a lot of 3 of Cups here, it's kind of like over time to where you hear me say it's teaching somebody else something. It's kind of like somebody's not listening or whatever the case may be, and at the same time somebody really not necessarily paying attention. You got 7 of Wands, you have the Chariot, and the 6 of Pentacles. For me, you hear me say with that 7 of Wands and the Chariot, it could be somebody. That 7 of Wands, I don't like that, because if it's a situation where you hear me say somebody's some sort of spiritual counselor or whatever the case may be, they constantly crossing somebody's boundaries about a situation, I'm surprised the moon ain't come up, but that needs to be uncovered. Or it could be somebody doing it to you. Well, hey, what's this? What's this? What's this? What's going on? Can you tell me that? It's just like they just not letting up. Like they really not. Like they not letting up. And the 6 of Pentacles being reversed is just like, what the fuck? Because you got 6 of Cups, the Page of Wands, and the Queen of Swords. It's something about it that happened in the past or past tense or whatever the case may be. And I don't know if it's something, because here's the tricky part about it. If you're uncovering it, because it's kind of like the energy of what we was talking about earlier on a different channel of somebody that's like, where they passing their problems off to somebody else. Well, you deal with it for me, because like, you know how little kids do when they younger. If you ask my mama, can I stay tonight? Then she'll let me stay tonight. Like that type of energy. So it's kind of like somebody's prepping somebody to go out the way. And it's kind of like being stuck and kind of like, And you hear me say the middle process of being in that is forcing somebody else into an awakening of understanding of themselves, because you got the hang muse and the queen of wands. So I think somebody is ready to let go and like ready to be able to move forward, because it's kind of like the queen of wands is just chaotic. I think you may be recognizing somebody energy or situations that they do, like, you know how I say, first you could be cool with somebody and recognize, or you could be like, I really like them, or whatever the case may be, or I see what you talking about, and it's kind of like, well, I like you, but you do fucked up shit. I see why this person is more offended. You like that type of shit, or whatever the case might be, or somebody could be doing this between you, don't know. But it's kind of like that type of energy where you just trying to like, okay, I'm gonna separate the person from the behaviors to see how this could move with me. And with the awakening, it brings in some type of internal knowing to where it pushes you to where you kind of be like, it's kind of like somebody's getting left out. Let me just say that. Because you got the sun, you got the six of wands, and the temperance, though. Like, it's something that you hear me say with this sun and the six of wands. It could be the attention that somebody's giving somebody. Because the sun also speaks of fertility, happiness, and joy and peace. But with the six of wands and the temperance here, it's kind of like somebody's over time losing patience with the situations or a person. Because the six of wands, somebody just wants to be seen and like, look at her. It's just, oh, just look at me. Just look at me. You get what I'm saying? So it's kind of like over time, somebody's losing patience with the idea of someone or something. Because you got the star on the bottom of the deck. That's what I said. It seems like with that truth, that thing that came out, I was like, oh, shit. Like, that's literally how I felt. Like, I was like, oh, shit. I just say y'all for tomorrow. I really did, though. But that's what it kind of gives me, though. I'm telling you, with this Queen of Wands, you know what I'm saying? This Queen of Wands is the type of person where it say, oh, yeah, come on, let's go here. And it's kind of like that friend that's getting you in situations and you kind of like, okay, and you know you kind of outgrew it, but at the same time, it's like something bad always happening to them. But by the midst of like this spiritual, metaphysical type protection, it puts you in a position to where you kind of like, whew, at least it didn't go bad this time. And it's needing you to recognize it's kind of like, well, I just can't rock with you like all the damn time. So somebody could be telling this to you, or you could be telling somebody else. It's kind of like, no, that's why I said it's a decision that's being made. Like somebody's thinking about the long haul of possibly connecting or their existence with a person. I think that's probably why. Ten of Pentacles, though. It could be some financial type situation. It could be a job or career. Emperor didn't come out, though. The King of Pentacles does speaks of that, though. You got Ace of Wands being reversed, too. That's why I say it's this Ten of Pentacles speaks of where you hear me say people who argue about money, people who ain't really just necessarily cool with you. They there for a long time, not a fun time. It's kind of like, oh, these trees are so beautiful, but with the King of Pentacles being reversed, they don't really give a fuck to be there. It's just kind of like they just okay, like they not there long term. The King of Swords mean at any given moment, say for instance, if you was doing some like investment and you say, well, you give me this and we're gonna all, you know how like they got like the runners type group or whatever the case might be, and like they take their money and they invest in certain things to see how far it's gonna go, whatever the case may be, and then you got somebody with like, shit, you already made it, give me my money back, like that type of energy or whatever. I think somebody recognizing like, I don't ever want to fuck with you again. Like it's the latter, either you doing this to somebody or somebody doing this to you. You kind of like, I don't want to fuck with you ever again. Because you got 8 of Cups. That's why I said one of y'all like, no, I'm alright. I'm alright. But it's teaching some type of lesson though. King of Wands. Knight of Pentacles. That's why I said it's teaching some lesson. It really is. You got the Page of Cups. 4 of Pentacles, the Page of Pentacles, but you got 4 Pentacles, you got Page of Cups, Page of Pentacles, 4 Pentacles is reversed with the 8 of Cups. So some of y'all, you hear me say, I'm telling y'all, some of y'all learning a lesson. Being stuck in a situation or dealing with some like passion project or creative ideas or whatever the case may be, maybe trying to move forward in business type endeavors, whatever the case may be. It's like this internal type knowing or whatever the case may be, because the Ten of Pentacles and the Hierophant or whatever the case may be, even if it's business, it's kind of like the idea of somebody trying to get you to go along with something that you normally possibly won't get along with. Because the Page of Cups also speaks of like this, it's unhappy, it's like sinister, it's manipulative, it's sneaky, or whatever the case may be. And with the Page of Pentacles, you hear me say not it's like not something that could grow into long term. So that's what I said, doesn't give me like a group thing, because you got the Page reverse, the Knight's upright, the Knight either reverse or the Page reverse. It's kind of like this constant trying to say, okay, you guys, let's all flip at the same time. Somebody like, what you say? And then you constantly have to say the same thing over and over and over again. You kind of like, whoo, all right. That's why I said the Eight of Cups. I think some of y'all is putting y'all into a position, if you are the type of person that's necessarily like the, okay, try to be the rationale type one. I think it's taking you internally for somebody to pick their battles wisely, because the Hierophant sometimes is when the student become the master. So it could be a situation where you hear me say of somebody who's experienced, it's kind of like they learn the lesson to where they're becoming the student unknowingly, or you could have been a student in the process and teaching someone else something, and it's kind of like in that moment you're the master. So that's what it's kind of giving me. Either way, because you got the World being upright. You got the Wheel and the World and Eight of Cups. I like that though. Because it's kind of like walking away and like not looking back. Like run away and never look back. What you can though. I don't know though. I said this got something to do with money. Jesus. Buckle up. That's all I can say. If it got something to do with like money or whatever the case may be. The Lovers didn't come out. Capricorn energy and business, you hear me say, that could be something binding long term contractually, if it did come out that way, if it's something that way. So it's something you may be stuck to. I don't know if somebody's trying to say, oh no, you can do it, like that type of energy to where you feel like, whoo. But it gives me this area of like a fillers, but at the same time it gives me like somebody is dealing with this unknowingly bullshit. Like say for instance, if you, let's just say for instance you're trying to get a job and you fresh out of college and they say, oh, we're going to give you this intern type ship, and everybody got you around there getting coffees and shit, and this ain't even your job, and the manager come in and they go off on you because you're a little late, and it's just like, why the hell you ain't been doing this? So you could be telling somebody this, or somebody could be telling you, and then it's kind of like you get a little mad because you kind of like, no, I thought this was a part of the job, and they like, no. And then your manager sitting there and they spewing and spitting at you in this type of energy to where it's kind of like they didn't necessarily have your back in the process. So you've seen this with these people. That's why I say it's kind of like a lesson that's being learned, because it's kind of like, oh, so y'all gonna send me out. And the manager still ain't came and said, I'm sorry. Like that's the weirdest shit. That's why I was like, I don't know where that came from. But you got Knight of Swords and you have the Star as well. So that's why I said that they're being able to move forward. That's that communication, like coming in, communication, speaking, knowledge, learning. But it's kind of like the information that you learn, it kind of push you in a sense of unhappiness, because you have the Eight of Wands, the Nine of Swords, with the Two of Swords being reversed. So it's kind of like truth bomb after truth bomb. I think when you stop looking for a sense of truth, that's when truth just like, hello, I heard you was looking for me, because you got justice being upright. So truth is kind of like, yes, I heard you was looking for me. So it kind of like forcibly, because Two of Swords upright does speaks of divided loyalty, but at the time when it's reversed, it's kind of like cats out the bag. So it's kind of like that situation has been more proven. You get what I'm saying? Like more logical or an aspect or whatever the case may be. But I'm telling you, it's kind of like this internal type knowing. I don't know. The only thing I could say is trust your intuition, because you do got the High Priestess being upright. So that means whatever gut type feelings or whatever inner knowing I would follow that. Let me just say that. I would. Because it's kind of like when you stop looking for it, it's... Because if you're looking for it the way you're going about it, this Ten of Cups is making certain people unhappy. Right? And it's kind of like risking this sense of foundation. But if it got something to do with money, it's kind of like, okay, I would turn over everything that I need to turn over, or whatever. Who else reading this came up in? It was you. it was a cardinal sign or something with a business type deal. It was something. It was Taurus, Hierophant, it was something else. It was three signs, you say specifically, when it came up to dealing with a sort of business deal. And it was like needing to, I told y'all like last month, the business idea just keep coming up. And I think I said this back in June. You go back on YouTube, I said it then, because I was like, some of y'all was operating in y'all shadow, or whatever the case may be. And when it came down to a business deal, I didn't say that the situation was just ideally bad. I said you was gonna have to like work a shitload a lot. I was like, but from the spiritual concept, I was like, it's teaching you a lesson. So that's the weird part. I was like, yeah, so it's kind of like that. I was like, you finna have to like work, and you just like, oh no, well, somebody explained it to you so easily or whatever, where it's kind of like, oh yeah, no, it's gonna be no problem. And you kind of like, bitch, you lied to me. Because you got the moon and the lovers. Because there's some stress and certain things that's hidden from you. I think it's hidden purposely, though. I think it's hidden purposely from you, purposely. Because you do got the lovers as well. Four of Wands. I don't think it's hidden from you, but I just think, I ain't going to say it's hidden from you purposely, like it's a divine purposely. I think a person is not, like they omitting a sense of truth. Because it takes this justice. I think that's what it is. I think somebody's trying to figure out what's fair, what's not fair, dealing with those situations. And it's kind of like somebody doesn't want to, like they don't want to communicate. They don't. I ain't saying like that. I'm laughing because my nose. But that's why I said it is, though. You got the lovers in a situation. It's this inner knowing. I don't know if it's like pick a side, choose a side, whichever one that's for you, your intuition, outcome, being able to walk away. I do like this, the Eight of Cups, the Wheel of Fortune, the Hierophant, the Cosmos, and the Moon. Somebody's having some worries about something that's contractual, but I told you the lovers, that does speaks of something good, especially being upright. If it was reversed, that means you're cheating yourself out of a deal. Boom. But like I said last month in the month before that, I said it's going to be some type of business deal. You're going to have to work through it, because I was like, it's something to where you're not getting all the information, and the way you're going about it, it's kind of like it's making somebody clam up, because they want to make themselves seem like they something. I don't know. I don't know if it's you or somebody trying to come to you or what. I don't know. With that Four of Wands, though, and that Justice, though, that's the balancing of the situation. Because I told you, it's bringing some type of soul type lesson. Maybe that's what it is. I think you learning, because like Sagittarius can be the healers of the deck to recognize that like everybody not always sometimes gonna get along. And that's okay, and it's not your job, because you're a mutable sign, and you hear me say mutable signs go through that, or whatever the case may be, where people tell you, could you just scoot to the left? Could you scoot to the right? And then you get mad, you snap the fuck off on people. You're like, bitch, what do you want me to do? And because you're more adaptable to change than any other sign, like all the mutable signs, which is Virgo, Sag, Pisces, and Gemini, just because you're more accustomed to change, that doesn't mean everybody else is. And I think that's what you're starting to like recognize, or whatever the case may be. Like, okay, well, that's why I said it's kind of like a situation where you got your work cut out for you. Yep, because you got 10 and you got the 7, or whatever the case may be. You got 10 of Wands and the 7 of Pentacles. That's why I said you finna have to work just to be able to bear some type of fruit. But that's a long way from going to 10 of Pentacles reverse, because that's a negative. But god damn, look what you had to go through. Yeah. Ace of Swords being reversed. It just gives me like this sorting out of the old. It really is. I don't know. But it just gives me like dishonesty, and like somebody's not understanding, like somebody's not honest, or certain things that's intentionally hid from you, because a person is omitting that from you, but at the same time it's putting somebody into a higher knowing with themselves. So that's why I was like, we'll see. Because you got Tower moment up, right? Look at that. It's like moving shit around in your mind. Probably challenging the way you think or some shit like that. Because you got 4 cups. You got 4 cups and the 9 of cups as well. 4 cups and the 9 of cups. You hear me say this speaks of like being in an emotionally distilled type place, to where you need some sort of help. And 13, this is number 13, so it speaks of transformation. So you're trying to change something, put it on a new foundation, like shed certain things, because it is in the food, but it got the Capricorn energy again, and that's like that darkness, that long term, or whatever the case may be. So you could be trying to, if it's business, like you're trying to negotiate the length of a deal that you possibly get fucking stuck with somebody or something in like money type matters. And then if it's like some sense of truth or connecting with somebody, I think you trying to like weed out like the darkness and like put it into an explosive type situation so you can see, or whatever the case may be, where you kind of like some shit's gotta go, because the tower type moment is always some shit's gotta go. It's kind of like you gotta go, this gotta go. It's like that type of situation to what somebody's not going to deal with. So that's why I said if it's business, it gives me like the idea of somebody that's necessarily like trying to, like I said in the last month reading, like you trying to shake up some shit where it's kind of like, no, I'm sorry, sweets, we're gonna give you a severance package. This is what I can. You're gonna negotiate, and I send your ass on by your way. We can't do this. Like, you get what I'm saying? Or you telling them the pros and cons of shit that it is that you need. Relationship aspect, y'all really didn't give me lovers. It just gives me more like the commitment of whatever the case may be. If you're uncovering some sense of truth, you may say when it comes to you and your spirituality, I think certain shit for you recognize what you can or cannot incorporate, whether you want to be long-term committed to something in a sense of spirituality. Like for me, I don't know why it's coming. I like African spirituality, don't get me wrong, but it's kind of like the concept of being just binded long term to something. I'm like, nah. You know what I'm saying? I like that. I like the concept of certain things that it is, but it's just being connected to something for a long term sense. So it's kind of like having that stressor above your head or whatever the case may be. So it could be something you understudying or thinking about, something that you should commit to or whatever the case may be, which is cool. But you do got the high priestess up, right? So it's some uncovering of truth that it may bring to you. I don't know if that's a person that's studying it. I don't know why they came up that you're going to or whatever. That's something that you are in. But it's kind of like that self-reflecting though. It really does. But yeah, that's why I said it's kind of like this. Or maybe it's somebody that's giving you hell. Let me just say that somebody that doesn't want to let up. Because when you see the devil, and you even say necessarily in a business type deal or dealing with a person who has that, that's like characteristics of somebody that doesn't want to let something go. Somebody who's necessarily prone to fucking shit up, like with negativity, like they doing certain shit. It's kind of like Seven of Swords should have basically came out, but it didn't. But it's kind of like somebody who say, oh yeah, well, I'm gonna just take this out the drawer and then we gonna be good. You kind of like, bitch, no. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, they getting accustomed to just how they run shit. Or, you know, you got people who late to the job and they like, okay, we're gonna do this. And you like, no. So that's what it kind of gets me. It's kind of like, like, no. And I think that's what's a bit of the issue of that. So, yeah, that's just it, though. Same thing. Sorry, y'all. It's not same thing. It's something different. But I'm sorry if y'all was looking for something like that. I told y'all I do the love readings in the middle of the month or whatever the case may be. So I do that. Well, we'll get y'all like 5 advice cards and see what's going on. We'll see what's going on. And then next we got the Pisces reading, and then Taurus. Like I said, that's it. It was a reason. Usually I knock y'all out the way, but y'all read never really be that long, so that's a good thing I can't say about it though. Don't have to worry about that. It just be goddamn Scorpio. It be one water sign that make my shit long. A earth sign that either make it long or difficult, and an air sign that doesn't want to talk. So I be like, girl. Fire signs, y'all really just be quick, straight to the point. Sometimes it's repetitive, but it's straight to the point. Anywho, a time to give rather than take. That's the new moon in Virgo. You got to believe in the impossible. That is a blue moon. So, and give necessarily doesn't always. Though I said the answers you need are coming. It's kind of like y'all were trying to force yourself to figure out some sense of truth. Conclusions are within reach, and it's kind of like the way y'all going about it. Like, if you dealing with like metaphysical type practices or divine, where people fail to recognize, like, you can't sit up here and say, oh, I'm gonna pray to God and I want this and expect to get it that way. It's not. Like, it's gonna come in the most unexpected type way. Your hard work is paying off. It's gonna come surrender to the divine. People fail to recognize, like, when it comes to, and you got new moon, full moon, and Sagittarius. Look at the bigger picture. People got to recognize when you're dealing with like metaphysical type beings or whatever the case may be, they come on their time. I'm telling you, like, gods are tricksterous or whatever the case may be. When people recognize that, when you're interacting with like divine type beings, they do. I ain't gonna say retarded and shit like that, but they do. I'm saying they really do. It's kind of crazy. Like, you could be on the brinks of where you finna like do something, they like and they'll snatch you back. But in that moment, it depends on which one, I'm telling you. But some of them do that. It's kind of like that. It's just the time. Like, if you grown, you kind of like, ain't nobody gonna tell me what to do. And that's kind of like them. You ain't gonna tell me what to do. And it's kind of like proving you work for it. You get what I'm saying? So it's just like that energy. I don't know. That's why I said that, though. But it will, though. I said answers you need. It's just the way somebody's searching about it. If it's you or somebody else in the King of Swords type way, it's kind of like irrational. And the King of Swords is not kind of like emotion felt, so he don't really have empathy. So it's gonna be like, okay, you going like that. So is you gonna get the job done or not? So you say you're gonna have the house built up with this, and somebody's like, oh well, my mom just, you like, okay, so we, like, that's what it is. It's like somebody's like, dang, Page of Cups. And that's what it is. It's kind of like, so, okay. All right. It's like, well, so, all right, let's give you 2 cards for each and we'll see what's going on. I'm telling you, that's the energy. So, you're going to get it done or not? You're going to get it done or not? All right. You're gonna get it done or not? That's funny as hell. You're gonna get it done or not? Ain't come out all the way. They're gonna King of Swords again. Ooh. Alright, I need 3 more and then we're good to go. Are we gonna get her done or not? I'm sorry, I just gotta say that one more time. That's literally how I feel like, y'all. So you gonna do it or not? It's like, damn. Bottom of the deck, you got the Hermit, 4 of Wands, 3 of Cups, and the 2 of Cups. Bang, 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 bang. Somebody not committed to doing something. I just want to say that off top. Just for his advice wise. If it's a relationship style or a sense of teamwork, it's kind of like somebody is in a position to where they fully don't want to commit. I don't know if this is your energy as well, because you got to be mindful too. If you're going into something and you're trying to figure something out, or you're trying to build friendships, or you're trying to get that sense of love, and you want to connect with somebody, if you pulling back in a space of, well, I really don't know, the people around you gonna give you that too. It is, especially where you hear me saying this Emperor type energy too. So the Emperor can come out kind of cold. Like, look at that nigga face. So it's kind of like that's going to make people pull back as well. And you, instead of you like figuring out the why. Because that's why I said the truth of the matter is in everything else. And it's bringing you this dope ass internal type lesson. That's where it seems like the other people, where you hear me say, and the connection's kind of like, well, damn, like, are we really vibing at this moment? Like that. So it's kind of like, that's the energy that you hear me say giving off. So that's why I said, just check that. Anywho, let's go. So you got, it's a time to give rather than take. It doesn't necessarily always have to be financial. It could just be how you talk to yourself. You hear me say manifestation, affirmations, how you give love, telling somebody thank you, just simple niceties, gratitude, how you in submission to yourself, like how you take care of yourself and as well as others outside of the material realm. If it's material realm, then if you've been lacking, or in this sense or whatever the case may be, or you with a partner and they haven't been giving to you the way you should, it's kind of like, okay, well, take time for you, or necessarily ask for those things, or somebody may ask you for those, but it's also being conscious of that. Here you got believing the impossible, but here's wait. Too impatient to wait, but too stubborn to make a move. I think the impatience is dealing with somebody that's kind of like impatient about this. Like somebody's very impatient about the outcome of certain things that they want. It's kind of like the peace that you seek outside, whether it's in financial or material realms or the nouns, it's like manifesting outward. Like, am I making sense? It's manifested like outward. Like you lacking patience with certain people, or you may lack patience with yourself. That's why I said watch when it comes to self-talk. The answers you need are coming. You got the Hierophant and the Knight of Cups. Could be in the most inhumane type way. Fire signs necessarily do not feel their emotions like off the bat, or whatever the case may be. And the reason why I say that, though, it could be somebody coming to you in a form of niceties, or whatever the case may be, and then like weird. It's just like, here you go. Like somebody saying, you know how like inner childlike youthfulness. It could be somebody younger than you. I don't know, but it's kind of like, here you go. Like somebody trying to give you something. You like, what I'm gonna do with this? And it could be like the blessing of your life. Anywho, you got and then too, connecting with a sense of your inner child, because you do got the sun being reversed and that Knight of Cups and the Lovers. That's why I said some of y'all got to reconnect with you, or with children, or just with self, like your ideal of them. Conclusions are within reach. You got the Chariot and the Knight of Wands. Don't get to the point of where you looking for a sense of information. This shit cancers do. Don't do that. Like, this shit cancers do. Like, I'm telling you. Get the sense of the truth. The conclusions of the matter to wrap something up. When it's dealing with a decision, the certain things that they need, they run the fuck off and make the decision. Okay, I got what I need. Boom. And they go out so fucking fast. And it makes no sense. They get a little egotistical and driven. Don't do that. Like, don't do that. Don't do that. I'm saying, please don't do that, or whatever the case may be, because it's going to go against you. Don't. Even if you get the information, especially with this King of Swords being reversed, learn how to sit on it. Like, what's your gauge? You get, and then know how communication comes into you. Like, who or what may be telling you stuff to trigger you. Your hard work is paying off. You got Two of Pentacles and the Emperor, so it seems like in this position where it's kind of like shit, you feel like one of the balls and drop, but it puts you in a position where you still maintaining the sense of control, and it's like certain things coming in. The Capricorn energy is all about reaping the harvest of keeping things intact financially, this, all those type of things. So it's kind of like, yeah, if you've been making sure your bill is straight, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? You may feel like exalted to where you kind of like in a position of power to where you can say, if you see the fruits of your labor, where you kind of like, you know, I could take a day off. Fuck this shit. Surrender to the divine, or whatever the case may be. I don't know who you believe in, or do you believe into a God. You can talk to the moon if you want to. You got King of Swords and the Judgment. And the reason why that possibly came out is because it's kind of possibly the way you move, or you think, or communicate. Because I told you, this person is very emotionless. Very emotionless. I'm gonna just stop playing it. I ain't gonna say emotionless, because you can feel a sense of pain, but it's kind of like communicating with others, to where you hear me say where somebody just feels weird, where it's kind of like that energy of you not trusting others, or others not trusting you, so it keeps y'all in a distance. That type of energy, surrender that, so you can get like a sense of awakening or knowing. Like, that's what's coming through at this moment. So it seems like you're going through, I'm telling you, like this stupid shit that divine do, like when you're trying to ask for pardon, or balance some sense of karmic, like wrongdoings or injustices, those type of things. It's kind of like it's sending you through all these stupid ass loopholes to where you losing patience, to where it's kind of like, oh shit, and you get like that aha, and that aha is to keep you moving. So that's why I say you got to surrender all that. On that note, you guys, that's it. So I got 2 more to go, and I'm getting the book on up out of here so I can go to my blog site, because I told you I just started to, so on that note, alright, gotta go.